A warm evening to everyone. Myself, Dr. A. Manikantan. I am working as an assistant professor in the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering in School of Engineering, Chennai campus, Amrita Vishwavidyapitham. The topic given to me is actually future with 5G and IoT. And before going into the topic, I just want to tell you something. While selecting the core branches in engineering, you just have to be make sure that uh, what is you are going to select and how you are going to excel. That is very important. The first thing I just want to say, whatever the branch you are going to select, you have to excel yourself in the particular branch. It may be a mechanical, or it may be a ECE or CSE, or any branch, or it may be mechatronics or automobile, whatever it may be. Whatever the branch you will choose on your own interest. First of all, you have to have your spirit to study that particular core branch, and then you have to excel yourself in that particular branch and show your skills in that branch and improve your skills. And whatever that you the skills you can extend or you can showcase in that particular core domain, that is very important. Whatever may be the branch, so you have to excel yourself. That is the first one, and then select the branch and based on your own interest first, and then second one, um, check out the demand and what about the trends now, and in which field you will get your suitable higher studies or job opportunities and everything. Please be aware about all these things, then you please select the branch. Don't go with someone else advice. That is my another important point I just want to highlight. uh, so since I'm a person from electronics and communication engineering, and here I am just to exhibit the things happening with EC, Electronics and Communication Engineering, what are the specializations and what's going on with EC now. So I just want to present everything in front of you today. So let me start the presentation. So these are the overview of my presentation. So first, let me start with the technical content for a few minutes or few time. Um, First one is future with 5G IoT. So first, let me discuss with the basics of 5G and basics of IoT. And then next, I'll switch over to whether this EC and computer communication, electronics and communication, computer communications are really essential nowadays, and how, what about the demand for them? So that we will discuss next. What about the role of these engineers? The engineers, those who will complete the degree under these two branches, electronics and communication engineering, computer communication engineering, what they will do, what is the roles and responsibilities of the engineers, and what are the specializations you can excel yourself under these two branches, EC and CCE, and what are the job opportunities you will get once you pursue this EC and CCE, and why we have to study EC and CCE with Amrita. And I will show you very few examples of some our milestones done by our own students, Amritians. So these are the overview of my presentation. So first, let me start with the technical content, future with 5G and IoT. So let me start with the definitions of IoT and 5G first. You know what is IoT thing, because nowadays we are every one of us talking about IoT, 5G, and everything. I can say IoT, Internet of Things. The things may be anything. So even we are also one of the thing in IoT. So whenever you are going somewhere or you are moving to some places and you are getting questions from Google Assistant, you will be updating something. For example, you are visiting a restaurant. After visit, if your GPS is enabled in your mobile, and definitely you will be getting questions after you visited the place. What about the restaurant? What about the quality of the food? What about the dining, hospitality? What about the parking, traffic, everything? You will get questions all about this. Then finally, it will be getting uploaded in the cloud, so it will be helpful for the people those who are going to visit in this particular restaurant or some places in future. So that is a simple example I thought IoT. Similarly, you are visiting in a bus stop, and similarly you have your GPS enabled mobile with you, and then you may have the question that when the particular bus number will be arriving to the bus stop, and you may have all these kind of questions from through your Google Assistant. So after getting the answers from the different persons, so finally they will make a training and then they will find out the suitable data, and then they will make it to they will showcase to everyone. So that's what we are getting even in your Google Map. Whenever you are going opening your Google Map, you will be getting some information. Even while driving through in the highway, you will be getting enough information about the restaurant and petrol bunk and everything. So all these things based on the data collected from different things that was connected through internet. That is Internet of Things. So in Internet of Things, all the digital machines or objects, animals, humans, vehicles, everything will be the objects. So Internet of Things. So these things will be collecting the information, and then it will be processed further. Then it will be displaying for final showcase. That's it. So that is the thing happening in the internet. So let me come to the definition of 5G, because we are going to discuss about 5G and IoT. The relation correlate between these two. We are going to deploy 5G concept in IoT, because without 5G, IoT is nothing, impossible. So we are going to deploy all the concepts of 5G, all the technological advancements of 5G in IoT, because IoT is the Internet of Things. So if you want to have internet, definitely you have to have 5G. The 5G is a kind of network that is that is a way of a design paradigm. So that will make you to able to connect virtually to everyone. Whenever you are standing somewhere, and if you want to connect with the people, those who are residing in remote place, it is possible like a live experience. So that is possible with 5G. Just extension of 4G. Already slowly we have started to move from 4G to 5G. So these are the some of the features of 5G in the right hand side. So we can get the speed up to some gigabits per second, and reliability will be more, delay will be very less, low latency, and then the network capacity will be very huge when compared to the lower generations like 3G and 4G. So that is 5G. So 5G again, like IoT, the concept in 5G is actually, so far you would have seen that if so many base stations near to our home, you would have seen that some mobile antennas in near to our home. In earlier days, you could have seen that some large base station antennas in so many places. But nowadays the things has changed. Now the things are 5G, because we have started to moving towards 5G. In 5G, the major concept is, instead of deploying one large base station with maximum amount of power, we can deploy so many base stations in different places with less amount of power. That's the concept. So that is the concept in 5G, from 4G to 5G. So nowadays you would have seen that even in a terrace of some home, you would have seen that some mobile station. But earlier it was not the case. Earlier there will be a large base station. We need some large area to launch a particular base station or mobile and base station in particular place. Earlier the things were like, but nowadays after that we have started move to 5G, the things have been changed. So nowadays we have a small base station with less amount of power, with some small circles or clusters. Instead of having a large base station with huge coverage geographical area, we can deploy a small base station with small geographical area, so that the latency will get reduced, and then reliability will be more, and then the speed will be very high when compared to 4G. So that is the concept behind the 5G. So 5G is actually, we are going to decompose the things into smaller sub-modules. That is 5G when compared to 3G and 4G. So now let me come to the architecture of IoT and 5G. So this is the architecture of IoT. So the base or scrap of the IoT is actually sensors. Sensors are the important devices in the IoT that is associated. What actually they do, the sensors will collect the information day by day from different human or any devices, vehicles or animals, and then it will be given to the network, because it has to be processed somewhere. For example, you are giving some input to the Google, then it will be given to the server. So next, what will happen? The server will give the data to the processing center, data processing center. In the data processing center, they will make a training algorithm. As I mentioned an example earlier, when you are waiting in the bus station, daily you are getting daily some so many people are visiting that particular bus stop. So they will collect the information around some 30 to 40 days. So each and every day, for example, 7:30, for every day 7:30, some person is standing in the bus stop. So they will collect the information daily at 7:30, and they will collect the information. The bus number 70 or 72 is visiting at which time these buses are visiting to this bus stop. So they will collect this information over 30 to 40 days. So finally, they will make a training algorithm, and they will make a smart decision, that is information processing. They will not make a final decision only based on one particular data from one particular person. So they will collect data from different persons, and then finally they will process it. They will apply suitable machine learning algorithm, and then they will make a very smart decision. That decision will be uploaded in the Google Maps again for application end users. So the final stage of the architecture of IoT is integrated application. So the whatever the data processed or trained, that will be made available for the public. That is the final stage. So that's about the architecture of the IoT. While coming to the architecture of 5G, already I have discussed enough. Instead of having too many cells, now we can have macro cells in different places. Instead of launching a huge base station, we can deploy a very small base station with less amount of power. So we can have too many clusters with this base station so that we can cover more number of subscribers around that particular geographic area. So that is the concept in 5G architecture. Now let me start with the applications of 5G and IoT. Uh, so first one, just I will start with the application from our home automation, home applications. So this is a simple example. This is the egg minder. So this egg minder will help you to purchase the egg. Otherwise, it will also help you to use to notify you what about the expiry date of the particular egg. It notifies that which egg has to be used first, because you are purchasing the eggs and you are keeping in the tray, and then each egg has some validity. So before it is going to be expired, this egg minder will have the indicator light. So this indicator will indicate you which egg has to be used first. And then at the same time, the egg minder will have only less number of eggs. For when you have 3 or 4 eggs, the egg minder will intimate you through your app that is installed in your mobile. So your egg minder is going to be empty. So please purchase the eggs. You will get the message. So you can purchase the eggs when you are returning to the home. So this can be possible with the help of IoT, and you have to have the suitable application in your mobile. So that is the first application I just want to show. Next one is smart washing machine. Uh, if your people are busy in work or and when you are starting to work, so you can just load the clothes to your washing machine, and then you can operate your washing machine while traveling to office, or even reach after reached office, you will be able to control your washing machine, and then you can make the dryer to run, and then you can make it off. So that is possible with the help of IoT. Again, you are supposed to have the suitable application in your mobile to operate your washing machine. So that is the next home application. And third one is smart AC. So even though you are not in home or you are in home, it may be whatever may be the case. Whenever you are traveling somewhere and then you are going to reach the home, and before reaching the home, you just want to make the temperature of your home to this lovely temperature, then it is possible with the help of smart AC. So before reaching the home, you can just send an SMS to your AC. So it can, and also you can set the temperature so that before reaching the home, your home will be set to the temperature of 25 or 27, whatever it may be. So you have to have the GSM interface to communicate your AC, because the distance is very, if the distance is far, and definitely you are supposed to have your SIM card. Without SIM card, you can't. But if you are going to use the things within your home, let me show you another example. Yeah, this is an example, smart light. So in most of the theaters or DJ show or VJ show, you would have seen this. It is possible to control the intensity of the light with the help of the suitable application. Now you can see the distance between the light and your mobile is very less. So here you won't need to have any GSM. With this, either you can communicate through Bluetooth or Zigbee protocol, because they are possible with only very least distance. Uh, but when you are far away, if you want to control the things, when you are far away, definitely you need to have a GSM. With the help of your mobile SIM card or something with the service provider only, you will be able to control your devices. That's it. So that is a smart light. Similarly, smart gas stove. While sitting in the hall, if you want to operate your gas stove and if you want to reduce the burner, it is possible. So you have to have the suitable application in your mobile. So you can install and you can control your gas stove with this application. That is also possible with the help of IoT. Smart garbage cans. So without the help of human being, this will be able to collect the garbages from different places, and then it will deposit to one particular place. That is the important application, I can say. And here the role will be you have to find out the suitable robot with suitable algorithm, and then to move left or right, you have to write some program. All these things has to be happened if you want to develop the smart garbage cans. That is another application of IoT. That is very important application, I can say. Smart farming. You want to apply the fertilizer without even when you are applying fertilizer in manually, and sometimes during the time of harvest or during the time of agriculture or something. Uh, so it is possible to apply the fertilizer without any human. So you can apply with the help of drones. That is also possible. Just you can fix the limit of the fertilizer content, how much it has to be de decomposed, and then what about the viscosity, everything you can set in this drone, and then it is possible to apply the fertilizer with suitable limit. And also you can predict the weather with the help of this IoT. Before the weather, the climate is opt for the harvesting, and before harvesting, you can just make sure that whether you are going to get rain or some weather, it will be a dry climate, and everything you can. It is possible to get everything through with the help of IoT. So IoT is playing a vital role in agriculture. All these things, whatever I have said so far, so they will be working together with 5G. So because we are going to use 5G with IoT, and next important application I can say that is smart health monitoring system. If you would have seen this smartwatch. So this watch can measure your heartbeat and then everything, what the body temperature. So in sometimes this watch, if your heartbeat is abnormal, then it will be directly communicating your doctor. So that you will be able to immediately you will be able to get the first aid if you have some issues. So that is also possible with smart health monitoring system. That is another applications of IoT. This is, I can say, it is a collective application of 5G and IoT. Cruise control in the connected car. So you know what is cruise control? So in a highway, if you are driving in a particular speed, and if you don't want to press the accelerator for a long time, just you can set it in the cruise mode when you are traveling in 120 or 140, whatever it may be. Either the driving may be manual or it may be autonomous vehicle. So in both cases, when you are having any disturbance, when someone is changing the lane, then what will happen? If it is a connected cars means you won't need to have any driver. Just you can sit and relax. You can just tell the destination at which you want to reach. So the connected cars and the autonomous cars will make you to reach without any driving. So in future it is possible. Now researchers are working on it, and I think it is slowly it is coming to the market. So when these autonomous cars, so when you are in cruise mode in these cars, so whenever you are getting some disturbances or some other cars are changing their vehicle, now these two cars will be able to communicate. So your car will be able to reduce the speed so that you can avoid the accident. So that is another important applications of your 5G and IoT with the help of sensors. That is also I can say. And this is another application, Birdhouse. Most of the channels, Animal Planet channels, National Geographic, Animal Planet, so many channels are available. Actually, what they will do, they will fix the cameras and sensors in different places. Sometimes they will fix it in neck of the eagle. Sometimes they will fix it in the trees, and sometimes they will fix it in the under the earth and everything. So what they will do, they will, and sometimes they will fix the high density cameras. So to collect the information that has to be processed, and whatever the information collected from the forest, that has to be given to the information processing center that is located in a remote place. So that is also possible with the help of this IoT. If you have a suitable processor, any miniature processor like a Raspberry Pi or any Arduino boards or Intel boards, so all these boards will do these things, because everywhere you can't place i7 processor. You know the costs of i7 processor. So this is possible with the help of IoT. So with a suitable miniature processor, so whatever the data captured by the sensors or cameras, high density cameras in the forest, that will be given to the information processing center by applying suitable compression algorithm, because we can't transfer the data as it is. It has to be compressed. So after compressing, the data will be given to the information processing center. That is also possible with the help of your IoT and 5G. And autonomous valet parking. So it is purely with the help of sensors. So and sensors and also robots. That is another important application of IoT, I can say. Yeah, this one I think most of you are well familiar. Augmented reality. So you can make the things virtually to reach you. That is augmented reality. Actually, people are enjoying nowadays with it. Here actually we have to have 5G also, because without any latency, without any delay, if you want to make the things possible, you have to have the 5G connection. So augmented reality is another huge application of 5G and IoT, I can say. This is also the example of augmented reality. People are enjoying nowadays with this. Yeah, this is another example that already I have mentioned. You will be getting enough information about in your mobile. When you open your Google Maps, you will be getting information about at which the time the bus will be visiting to the particular stop, or what about the restaurant, quality of the restaurant, parking available. Everything will be in your hand. That is with the help of IoT and also 5G. So another one, um, drones delivery. Nowadays it is and during this the pandemic time, so these drones were played a vital role in this pandemic time. So delivery is also possible. Autonomous delivery is possible with the help of drones. This and also robotics, UAV robots. So they are the one used to infect the rooms of corona contaminated ward. So these are some of the important applications I can say with the help of IoT and also 5G. That's all about the applications for 5G and IoT. So hope you had a basic a nice idea about 5G and IoT. So now let me come to the next phase. Uh, why these electronics and communication, computer communications are essential disciplines. So how they are playing a vital role in our how they are important, and why you have to study these two branches. Both this electronics and communication engineering, computer communication engineering, they are the prime branch now, I can say. So that would never cease to discover, invent, and restore the technological advancement in the modern era. Everywhere you can see, whatever the applications you might have seen nowadays, everything with the base of communication or 5G and IoT, everything. So even you can take a simple example, whatever the things we have discussed so far, smart health monitoring system, smart city, everything is a possible of this EC, electronics and communication, and computer communication engineering. So these two branches are playing a vital role nowadays, I can say. So the engineer or a graduate, those who are equipped with these two degree, EC or CC, so they will enjoy definitely great career opportunities, and they can excel themselves in the collaborations with the industry, and also they can get research opportunities in abroad and also in India. So that is possible with EC and CC. If you want to have pursue your higher studies, if you want to have computer vision and image processing, then the suitable branch will be electronics and communication engineering, I can say, because so many research are going with these two fields now, I can say. What these engineers will do, this communication, electronics and communication engineers and computer communication engineers will do, I will show one by one. Whenever you have in manufacturing, even you can see in your motherboard, you can everything will be electronics components. So these engineers will deal with the manufacturing of all the components related to electronic communication, automation, even sometimes mechanical. So it deals with the manufacturing of electronic devices, circuits, and also the communication equipments like your transmitter, receivers, ICs, integrated circuits, microwave components, and fiber communication, optical fiber communication components. So all these manufacturing, these engineers will be able to excel themselves in this field. That is the first one. And second one, I can say fabrication. Even if you want to design a mobile, if you want to have purchase a mobile, you can see nowadays Qualcomm processor is the best processor, I can say. So if you want to fabricate the processor, you should have a strong knowledge in semiconductor semiconductor electronics. So without having knowledge in semiconductor electronics, you will not be able to design and fabricate any devices that is used in the mobile. So Qualcomm is the best one, I can say. Even so many processors are available in the market, but even in Qualcomm, they are using this signal integrity based, that is fabrication, everything in the Qualcomm. So the electronics and communication engineering will excel in this field wherever their industries are fabricating things, ICs. So there, these engineers can excel themselves. So that is the second one. And third one is this is especially applicable for computer communication engineers. So these engineers will create, maintain, and control the network infrastructure. So communication between two places or two persons is not easy. The communication may be through wire or wireless, whatever it may be. So we have to have the suitable network infrastructure. Without infrastructure means whenever you are talking from your mobile, in immediately the call will be connected to the nearest base station, From the base station, it will be connected to the nearest pillar. You would have seen the pillar, and then it will be given to the exchange, and then from the exchange, it will be forwarded to the pillar. Again, it will be go to the nearest base station. Then it will reach the recipient. So in this way, we have to have a suitable architecture. So these engineers will be able to construct the suitable architecture with the help of hardware and software. So that will establish the secured communication. Yeah. While discussing about communication, we have to make sure that whether your communication is a secured one. Whenever you are sending some information, so that has to be reached the destination without any attack, without any third-party attack. The recipients would receive the information without any attack or any malicious activities. So that is very important. So that is also role of engineers, communication engineers. So now let me tell you something. What are the specializations available with this EC and CC? So first, let me show you the list out the specialization. After completing or while doing your engineering itself from the 5th semester onwards, you will be allowed to take the elective courses. They are related to different specialization, because electronics and communication engineering, it's a ozone. So in that, in which field you just want to excel yourself. So these are some of the fields I just want to show you. First one is integrated circuits. Uh, Wherever you are there, like I have discussed about fabrication and everything. So that is the first one. If you want to get a job in core fabricating industries, then you have to excel yourself in the IC, integrated circuits, then signal processing, telecommunication, antennas and microwave, VLSI and embedded system, very large scale integrated circuit and embedded systems, computer networks, information security, 5G with AI, artificial intelligence, IoT, Internet of Things. Now the things has changed into electronics of things. Slowly, IoT, the next phase of IoT is actually UOT, electronics of things. So these are the streams you can see in ECE. While studying in your third year itself, you can classify your, if you, in which field you want to excel yourself, and if you want to masters. Or in future, in you want to do your masters in your in abroad or somewhere, you can just select any two in this selected specializations, and then you can select the electives based on these two streams, and then you can start doing your research in that particular field. That's it. So similarly, in computer communication, it is purely related to communication. So the fields are network architecture. How can we frame the architecture to establish the secured communication? Network coding. The network coding also will concentrate on how these information will be processed and how it will be split into packets and bits and everything, and how the users will be scheduled and how the packets information will be scheduled. Everything will be done in the help of network coding. Information security, again, before transmitting this information, we have to make sure that whether the information is being transferred through the channel without any attack. That is information security. High speed networks, when you are going for higher applications like your DTH or 5G applications or satellite communication, so there we need high speed networks. And then next, again, 5G with AI. Internet protocol, specifically protocol, protocol is means if you are going to establish a communication, there will be a process that is called as protocol. So now we are, if you are, and for the range of distance, based on the range of distance, we can find out the suitable protocol. With, if for example, within the short distance, if you want to transfer one data from one mobile to other mobile, we can use a Bluetooth. So that is possible. And Zigbee is available. So based on the distance, we can decide the protocol, which protocol we are going to use. Zigbee is a kind of protocol that can be used to share the information within some short distance. If it is a long distance, we have to go for with IP, Internet Protocol, Transmission Control, or TCP. So all this protocol has to be designed. So nowadays we are using IP version 6. Next one is network routing. So in the during the transmission, we have different nodes. The information will be processed, where the information has to be forwarded. So all these things has to be done. That is called as network routing. Software defined networks, these two actually, cognitive radio and software defined networks are somehow similar. So they are very important application, I can say. Nowadays it is possible to listen FM station even through online. That is possible with the help of software defined networks, because they are the combination of both software and hardware. Even though you are residing in some other place in some other country, you will be able to listen either Suryan FM or Radio Mirchi or any FM Rainbow, FM, all the FM radio stations in your mobile or laptop, even though you are residing in some other countries. That is possible. So that can be done with the help of software-defined networks, software-defined radios, and finally IoT. So these are the important specializations of EC and CCE. So let me tell you the job opportunities of EC and CC engineers. Uh, I have just shown you some of the examples. I have not shown all the fields. So the first important applications I can say, biomedical signal processing. You may think that in medical hospitals or in some places, uh, whenever you are getting ECG report or something, you may think that is the output of that has been done by a doctor or a machine. That is actually, even though you after getting the report you can get the advice from the doctor, but this information, whatever the information you are receiving from the human heart, whatever the data you are receiving from the human heart, it will be like a raw signal. You can't interpret anything from the signal received from a normal human heart. After applying some transforms, we can say some Fourier transforms are available with while you are studying electronics and communication engineering, you will understand what is transforms. So these transforms will transfer the signal from whatever the data measured from the human heart to some format. From that format only, you can understand that whether it is a normal human heartbeat or abnormal human heartbeat. That's it. So that can be done by a technician who knows electronics, EC, electronics and communication engineering. So that's why now we have the branch biomedical engineering. That in biomedical engineering, you can see that some of the courses with electronics and some courses related to IoT and some courses related to medical engineering. That's it. So the first important application field you can get job opportunities, biomedical field. And second one is biomedical image processing. If you want to locate the brain tumor, not only brain tumor, cancer and everything, even X-ray images, everything. If you want to locate the tumor and if you want to make a surgery, that is possible, because while making surgery, it is very important. You are disturbing only that particular area without disturbing the remaining places. So that is possible with the biomedical image processing. So this image processing will help you to identify locate the tumor in your brain. So if you get the exact location and how it is spread over your brain, so then it will be easy for doctors to make a surgeons. That is another important applications. Sorry, in the job field you can get the job. And third one, after completing your EC or CCE, there are plenty of research job opportunities are available in government sectors like ISRO, BAR, and VSSC, but you have to appear for GATE exam after completing EC and CCE. So many scientists are already involved in this process. Another one, hardcore opportunities. If you want to excel yourself in hardware industries like Qualcomm, Intel, and Samsung, and in fabrication especially, you can get the job opportunities. And another one is communication engineer. So many, every year you would have seen that BSNL or All India Radio will call for the engineers for the vacancies in JTO, junior telecom officers, assistant engineers in All India Radio, Doordarshan. So there also you can get a research oriented job in technical field like a technical assistant engineer, junior telecom officers. So these type of jobs also you can get. And JTO, I think every year they are calling for vacancies. So after completing this, you can apply for these kind of jobs also. And while manufacturing the equipments of your communication equipments like radar, so in those industries also you can get job, BEL, DRL, BHEL, HAL, NEL. So in these industries also you can get job opportunities in your core field. So that's all about the specializations and also the job opportunities. I have just shown you some of only very few, because since I have I have to limit my slides. So I just shown you some very few examples, but we have, apart from this, we have so many fields also possible. Now let me come to the point why we have to study EC and CC at Amrita. Let me tell you something. All the labs are equipped with state-of-art equipment and advanced software. So in our Amrita, so we have excellent laboratories, I can say, with all the equipments, latest equipments with high-end software. So that is the first thing. Second one, All the faculty members are PhD holders here in our Amrita, especially in Chennai campus. And then excellent academic environment for creative and productive work for both faculty and student members in this campus. And moreover, research opportunities and both students and faculty members will be encouraged to do both research and through some integrated and collaborative learning with academicians and also through industry, both in India and abroad. So let me show you some of the images, laboratory photos available at our campus. These are some basics laboratories. I just will show. This is electronics lab and computer hardware lab, digital lab, and microprocessor lab. And we have, I can say in Amrita, now we have Intel IoT lab with Amrita for both IoT and also AI, artificial intelligence. So AI will be under CSE department, and IoT will be under the EC department. So now we have established this laboratory in our campus. So here in this laboratory, I can say we have excellent processor, Raspberry Pi with 8 GB RAM, and all the latest smart sensors with wide range, I can say. Our students were able to complete some projects even in the first year. Some of our students were able to complete some smart campus monitoring systems. All those things have done when they are in their first year itself. So through with the help of this IoT lab. And also we have industry accelerator program with Intel. So what they will do, actually they will select the students from our campus and then they will train the students, and finally they will make the students showcase their research outcomes to the industry. That is the main objective of this industry accelerator program. So the MOU was signed with Intel. So in between Amrita and IoT. So the students will be trained, and then each and every module the students will be trained. Phase wise the student will be trained, and along with the help of faculty mentor from our own Amrita and with the help of Intel. Finally, the students will be able to showcase their project to the industry. That's it. So that is the important things happening in Amrita, I can say. And every year we used to conduct an ideathon to identify the research potential of the students. So we used to conduct ideathon in our campuses to classify the students, because some students have interest in image processing, and some of them may have interest in communication, and some of them may have interest in IoT. So based on this ideathon, we will be able to classify the students based on their first research area group, and then the students will be encouraged to excel their research. That's it. Let me show you some very few. I can't show everything. I can say some our students within this short span of time. Last year itself, our students were able to complete almost 40 projects. Our EC and computer communication students. I just want to show you only very few some simple projects, I can say. The first achievement I can say, recently our students were able to achieve in this Toykathon. So the Toykathon was conducted by Central Government of India. I think totally 17,000 batches were approached initially for the first round, out of which I think 1,500 only selected for the next round. In that, among the 1,500, finally, I think around some 200 teams were selected. Our Amartians also one of the team. These students from EC and CSE together, they have done work. And then they have, I think the 4 students from EC and the 2 from CSE. They have won this Ideathon recently in Ideathon 2021 with the help of our faculty members. That is an important milestone, I can say. And recently, one of our students was able to complete anti-corona smart doorbell system by measuring the temperature of the human body. If the particular person will have the more temperature, then you will get the alarm, and also you are not supposed to open the door. Some simple projects. And another one is smart dustbin was done by our own student, a second year, Mr. Karthik Nath. Let me show you the videos also. So this is another one, a weather station. It is a prototype developed by our student actually to predict the climate of by measuring the data in different time interval. So this student actually has deployed the same data to cloud also with the help of Jupyter's. So continuously monitoring the temperature. I think he has done this project at Vizag. By monitoring the temperature, this guy was able to upload the same in the cloud. So that was visible for public. Yeah, I will show you some one video. I just want to show you. So this is simple with the help of sensor. It is a smart dustbin. And another video also I want to show. Actually, the first one was fire alarming system. Second one was human body temperature management system. And we realize similarly we have so many videos. If you want to see all those videos, I just want to recommend you that you can just go to our Amrita official page, Facebook page, and there you can see ARCHIS, Amrita ARCHIS. So we have a separate Facebook for our students. So there, all this project, I think almost some 52 projects already exhibited there. You just go through it. That's all I have done. Now I am ready to answer the queries by all.
Sir, we have few questions from the students.
Yeah, let me see the chat box. Please ask the admission related queries to the admission team. If you have any doubt regarding the core or technical or the branch selection, you can ask the questions to me here.
Sir, you can stop sharing the screen.
Okay.
It's on top, that red color.
Oh, okay. My screen is not visible now, right?
Now not visible, sir.
Yeah, okay. This webinar will be uploaded in YouTube. I think Ms. Nijam Mohan will answer for this question.
Yes, it will be uploaded in YouTube and the link will be present in the foundation program webpage.
Yeah, thank you. Then next question, difference between, I think the students are fastly typing the question. It is different between A and DS. Can you please tell me what is DS? I can't understand. It is a data structure or something. I don't know. Where are the entrance exam? Sir, can we become scientists? Theoretical example, astronomers, astrophysics, physicists, possible after doing BTech CSC. What are the steps to take? Yeah, of course you can do. After completing CSC, if you want to excel yourself in astronomy, then you better you can write a GATE exam. You can write GATE exam, and you can get a job in ISRO or BARC or somewhere. But the thing is, again, you are supposed to complete one course for astronomy there. There will be a short-term course. After completing this course, after completing the course, you will be allowed to be a technician there. The GATE will be the eligible exam for that. Anyways, CSE students are eligible. Do we have VLSI course in Amrita? Yes, we have VLSI specialization in Amrita in all the campuses. So don't worry. When did CC branch started in Amrita, and there are many placements? Actually, computer communication is a newborn child. In Coimbatore campus, in Bangalore campus, I think now the students of third years studying, and in Chennai campus, second years are available. Only no, none of the students from CCA have completed so far. But anyway, the job opportunities, of course, is actually good. Even if you want to, if you will excel yourself, even you will get a job in Cisco. That is the first specialization I can say with CCE. Can you say something about mechanical department? Mechanical, it is a core branch actually. I can say mechanical, but nowadays this thing is actually, if you want to do something, you have to excel everything, because if you want to design a robot, you should know what about the operations of sensors, and also you should know how to write a program, and to know about the geometrical transformation of robots, you have to know some mechanical concepts also. That's it. That is the things actually happening now. You can't excel yourself in one particular domain. You have to excel like a master. And the course is also designed like in Amrita. In Amrita, I can say so many integrated and collaborative things are happening. You will not study only electronics, or you will not study only computer science. Even while studying in, for example, if we have a course to introduction to drones. In that course, the first module itself, we have to study about the geometrical transformation that is related to mechanical. So after understanding the concept only, then we will make our students to assemble the drones. So anyway, we will teach, we have a standalone teaching method, but finally you can combine with any other branch students also to make the projects possible. That's it. In Amrita, the things are happening like this. Is these laboratories available in particular campus or in all the campuses? Actually, I have shown this campus available in Chennai campus. I can say in all the campuses, the laboratories are available with excellent infrastructure. If you have a doubt, once the pandemic recovered, you just go and visit the campus if they will allow you in the campus, because now they are not allowing anyone into the campus during this pandemic time. Once everything set back, you will be feel free to go and visit the campus. Then you can see what I have, whether the laboratories are good or not. You can see just. What is the major? Can you see what is the program? Which programming language is used for networking with ECE boards? Actually, earlier we used to write assembly codes, ASM codes we used to say, but nowadays we have switched over to Python and C. So now the students have done this project. Actually, they have done with the help of Arduino boards, with the help of C only. If you have, but you don't feel like you have to learn C or C++. Slowly you can learn. It is not a big deal, so you can learn easily. Python also, if you are using for Raspberry Pi boards, it is Python will be very comfortable with the miniature process. But most of the people will be comfortable with Python. That's it. Because in Python, all the open libraries are available with open source. You won't need to pay anything to use the Python. That's it. Then please type slowly. The window is actually moving up. Is this laboratory answer the question? What is the major difference between? I think I'm getting so many questions. Which programming language I answered? What is the scope of electronics and computer engineering? So electronics and computer engineering nowadays slowly, even normal electronics and communication engineering also like electronics and computer engineering, I can say, because those earlier we used to study only hardware, but nowadays things have been changed. We have to automate everything. So even if you want to control the mechanical thing, we have to have. If you want to control the sensor, you should know the programming with Raspberry Pi or Arduino board or any miniature processor. So everything is automated and everything is integrated. So if you study electronics and computer science, then you will have a good scope. There is no doubt. Next question. What is the major difference between EC and CC? In computer communication, most of the papers will be related to computer networks. Networks means how the wired networks have been formed and how they are working. Everything is purely related to computer network. You will study most of the networking paper. In electronics and communication subject, you will be, it is a pure communication. You will study about antennas and how the microwave communication is getting happening. Everything you will study all these things in ECE, but in computer communication, you won't need to study about this antennas and everything because it is computer communication. So you will study more about network papers. That's it. Is there? Do we have robotic based degree? Yeah, yes. I think this year in Amrita Etimadai, we have a course with robotic and automation. A new course was introduced in Amrita. You just please inquire with admission team. And then which branch is better? Please type the question slowly because my which branch is better in future scope, India, CSE or EC? Since I am from EC, I would say EC because that even though you are studying CSE, everything will be starting from semiconductor physics. Without understanding semiconductor physics, nothing is possible. I can say you have some uniqueness when you, even though you are studying CSE, if you learn things from EC with the sensors, everything, you can excel. That's it. That is not something you, whatever you will study, but you have to, but like I said already, whatever the branch you can select, please have interest and please excel yourself. That's it. But as per your question, but more, I can say more core jobs are available in EC when compared to CSE. That I can say. And then actually, what is VLSI? Very large scale integrated circuits. How many number of transistors we are going to use to fabricate the device? That's it. Earlier it was 1,000, then it was 10,000, then it was 1 lakh. When it was 1,000, actually it was like a LSI, large scale integrated. Then when it is 10,000 number of devices was used, it was like MSI, medium scale integration. Now we are using lakhs and lakhs of devices. So that's why it is very large scale integration. Now we have ultra ULSI, ultra large scale integrated circuits. When you are going to say about CSE, there are some experts to talk about CSE. I think tomorrow or day after tomorrow, I am the person to nominate to talk something about ECE. So I am the person from ECE. I have heard that is a demand present for what? Like in CSE, do we have specialization in ECE from first year? No, actually in ECE, we have, because ECE is a core branch. In now, actually, if you want to excel yourself, in the third year, you can select your stream. That's it. Unlike computer science, AI, computer science, cyber security, so we have another branch in EC, that is computer communication engineering. That's it. Research in space astronomy after BTech CSE. Yeah, you will get the opportunities, but the only thing you are supposed to do is you have to appear for GATE exam. 5G, IoT, AI, these are the specialization in EC and CSE engineering. What is the difference between these two fields? 5G and IoT actually belongs to ECE, but AI belongs to CSE. We are going to use AI algorithms for 5G and IoT wherever we need. As I mentioned, let me tell you something. If you are going to design autonomous robot for a restaurant to serve for the customers, so there actually all the sensors and programming, everything will be with the help of communication with the help of 5G and IoT. But we have tried the program every time. You have to give some instruction to the robot, so that is purely with the help of AI, artificial intelligence. AI, with the help of AI concept only, you can control the robots. And while designing the robot, you have to know the mechanical concept. That's it. We are using AI concepts in 5G and IoT. Computer communication engineering is useful, or computer science engineering is useful in future? Both are having similar, because even computer communication, if that depends on you. If you want to get a job in networking field in abroad, for example, more people are migrating towards UK and Canada towards nowadays, where they are getting more jobs for networking nowadays. So those person now they are pursuing PG diploma in computer communication, computer networking. The one year PG courses are available in UK. Now they are pursuing those courses in UK. I can say they are related to computer communication and computer networking. Within 1 year they are supposed to complete, and they will be getting PR. But that is possible with the help of computer communication now. You won't need to pursue this 1 year PG or a diploma course. If you study this computer communication, you can apply directly. That's it. All other CSC, Gen, cyber security, artificial. Yes. What type of companies accept CC brands, sir? Best example I have said Cisco. So if you want to get a job in Cisco, you can go. And moreover, most of the software companies, how they are working with the cloud, right? And they are integrating everything through network. In all the software companies, there will be a network administrator and there will be a network supporter, everything. They will be the engineers. Even most of the hotels you can see, there will be one network administrator. In 5-star hotels, there will be only one network administrator. They will be getting paid actually high, so that I can say. With a suitable network architecture, and they have to make sure that whether the customers are getting without any latency or delay, they are getting everything. So that is the role of this network administrator. In all the software companies also, network administrators job will be there. So there you should know how the things are, how they will be distributing the network based on the load, and how these PCs are connecting, and how they are exchanging information, and with a secured, even though within this campus, and that should be secured. So everything, that is the role of network administrator. So that is possible with the help of computer communication. The next question, I have answered this question. Can we use laptops or mobile in Amrita? You can use both. Even in classroom itself, without laptop, and we used to ask the students to bring laptop. Without laptop and mobile, teaching learning is impossible in Amrita. Sometimes you are supposed to use your MS Teams app, or you are supposed to download some other apps to take your test, or you even sometimes to upload your projects. Everything you are supposed to have laptop and mobile. Without laptop and mobile, you can't learn things. So I can say we will encourage to use mobile and laptop only for technical purpose within the class. Research in space, astronomy, I think I answered the question. You have to study one more course with ISRO or IASC after completing your CSE, after by writing 8 exam. What are the core subjects in CSE? In CSE, the core subjects actually I can say, there are some basic subjects. Programming is the basic subjects I can say, like OOPS programming, data structures. They are the basics programming subjects. Why we have to learn this programming? With the help of this programming, if you will go for designing DA, design and analysis of algorithms, when you are going for higher semester, without this programming paper, you can't learn anything. So while designing, while developing algorithms through with the help of Java or Core Java or C or C++, so first you have to understand how can we write the algorithms and how these prototypes can be developed. So all these things will be taught with the help of these basic papers, like a PSAT, data structures, from OOPS. So you will be studying how can you can write the program for any application. So that will be basic, and then core papers in the sense I can say AI, and then discrete mathematics, and also computer networks. So these are some core papers in CSE I can say. Is there any foreign exchange program available with Amrita? Yeah, of course it is available. While studying in your final year, you can make eligible yourself to be a part of. You can apply for foreign exchange program through ACIP, Amrita Center for International Program. If you are eligible, and there are some criteria. You are supposed to have some GPA of this value or limit, and then you are supposed to publish a paper. And if you have enough on weightage CV, then you will be exchanged to foreign. So many students have been sent last year to exchange with a foreign exchange program to pursue their final year and the PG second year with so many universities. I think the tie-up universities are available. List of universities are available in Amrita website. Just you can see it. About automation and robotics, I think it is the course is now they are going to introduce this course. So robotics and automation, again, it is a combination of all these things. In this course, you will study about the sensors and also AI algorithms, artificial intelligence algorithms, and then mechanical concepts like your geometrical transformation, how the planar orientation will be done. All these courses you will study in this robotics and automation. How our internships are provided in Amrita, Bangalore, Chennai campus? See, actually, internships, if you want to do the internship within the campus, you are welcome. You can do some research activities within our campus. At the same time, if you want to, you are a student studying in a Bangalore campus, and if you want to do an internship with the Etimadi campus, that is also possible. You can apply through the professor or a particular faculty who is offering that. Then through the exchange program, you can apply for it, and then it is possible. And also here we are encouraging for industry internship. So it is possible in Amrita, you can apply for industry internship. And this year our students, I think almost 12 students from Chennai campus were able to complete Cisco internship. Successfully they have completed. And the next year, coming year, from January onwards, I think 5 students of our Chennai campus got selected for the internship with the NTU Singapore. They are going to start their internship from this January onwards. They have got selected. That's it. Even while they are in third year, I think those students are third year students. Those students have got an internship with NTU Singapore. From January onwards, they are going to do. So start learning Python. Yes, even though you have not started, no problem. In the first year in Amrita, you can learn everything, but that will be just a roadmap. After that, you have to develop your thing, because, and moreover, Python is a very simple, easy language. It will be quite interesting. You can learn everything, no problem. Which branch has better growth, CSE or ECE? Based on your demand and based on your skill, that I can say. Just like that, completing one course or in any institution without having any enough infrastructure or something, then you can't say you will get a demand. How? First one, what about the institution you are going to select? That matters, because there only you will be molding yourself with the different streams and with the different inputs. So that is very important. So whatever the course you will study, based on that you will get the demand. That's it. But I can say when compared to CSE, more core branches and core government job opportunities are available with EC. That's it. Which laptop would you prefer for a EEE students? i7, you can have 8 GB RAM, 1 TB hard disk. That is. It is possible to learn EC while doing CSE. I think that is not possible. You can excel only in ECE. But the thing I can say, even though you are studying in ECE, we are using all AI and machine learning algorithm for our applications. So obviously you are learning, I can say. But you can't study this, some specific core papers like discrete mathematics or something, theoretical computation. So those we will not study in ECE. But whenever we need, we are going to use these applications, AI, machine learning, and everything. Which is better, CSE core or CSE specialization? Both are same, I think so. Even though you are studying CSE in your third year, if you will select the branches, if you will select the electives based on AI and machine learning, you can excel. But in AI, the methods will be different. In AI, they will be concentrating only on AI algorithms. But CSE, you will be studying other programming subjects also along with AI concept. That's it. If you want to excel yourself, you can select the electives based on AI in your from your third year itself. I read that CSE also have a specific IoT. Is that same as IoT in ECE core? IoT is only one meaning, but that is belongs to ECE. In your opinion, CSE or which is best based on your future job opportunities? Since I am from ECE, I would recommend you to have that based on application. If you want to go for higher studies in abroad, and in which field you are going to excel yourself, if you want to excel yourself with computer vision, image processing, networking, then you can select ECE. If you want to excel yourself in AI and machine learning, then you can go for CSE. That's it. Highest package, I think last year it was from 56.3 lakhs. You can see that from our website. Will CSE or ECE better for taking AI in PG? After completing UG, I can say one thing: all are same. There is no ECE or CSE because the specialization will be like this. If you are once you admitted yourself in abroad, there will be electrical and computer science. In most of the countries, there will be no electronics and communication. There will be no computer science. In all the countries, only electrical and computer science. So in all the like US, UK, everything, everywhere you can go, all these branches will be combined together. You will have only one stream, electrical and computer science. But there you have to select the electives. How many electives you are going to complete based on how many credentials you are going to complete on this streams. So that matters. So only up to completing UG, you may get confused like CSE or ECE. Once you are going to admit to PG, all are same, I can say. I think in most of the universities in abroad, you can just surf it in Google. You can see they will be offer only electrical and computer science.
Sir, sorry to cut you down. We have gone
Yes, ma'am.
past the time. So students,
Okay.
we have almost reached the time for today's session. So if you have any further doubts, you may please mail us to workshops@cb.amruta.edu. We will be forwarding your mails to sir. And I hope everyone enjoyed the session. Thank you so much, sir, for spending your time and explaining all the questions to the students. And thank you so much, everyone. We'll see you all tomorrow. We will be having day 3 of Tech Talks tomorrow. The mails have already been shared with you. So you can all join using the same link. I hope everyone filled the attendance form. If you have missed it, please find it in the chat box now. Make sure you fill the attendance form and leave. And the recordings will be available in the foundation program webpage. So you can view it there. Within 2 days, it will be updated up there. The mail
Thank you,
ID
ma'am.
where
Thank you
you
so
have
much.
to mail the queries is workshops@cb.amruta.edu. I'll just type that in the chat box.
Yeah, thank you, students. Ma'am, shall I take a leave?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, all the students. Thank you for the nice questions.
Thank you all. We'll see you all tomorrow.